Up witches, this is Celeste from the Coven the Silver Cord here, and I'm going to be doing our full moon to full moon January to February 2020. Now the full moon on January 10th is going to be a big one because it is also a lunar eclipse. So this is all about the polarity between the divine feminine and the divine masculine here. You know, the moon is going to be at 20 degrees Cancer, and the sun is going to be at 22 degrees along with Saturn and Pluto, and this is going to be causing this polarity between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and it's all going to be about controlling your emotions and controlling your surroundings and a rebirth of self, of this new self that we're now embracing as we enter 2020. So if you wanted to know more on the more aspects of that full moon, go ahead and check out the full moon spell ritual. That's not just about a spell, that also has all the information surrounding the full moon in it. But for our reading, we're going to be going into, with this full moon, bringing a lot of, like I said, Queen of Spring, a lot of trust in your abilities and a lot of balancing out that work and, you know, home life here, and balancing out your spirituality and your 3D responsibilities. It's time to, now that we've done all this time in hermit mode and stuff like that in 2019 and really working on yourselves, it's really time to start balancing out, embracing being out and being with people and being able to be your true self out in society. You have died 100 times just in this lifetime. Ego deaths and spiritual deaths over and over again. Your soul has survived the burning times to be here in this time so that you can fully embrace these gifts and your path that is before you and allow yourself to believe in magic again. And we are allowed to do this now without having society burn us to death for it. So it is time to step out and be open about this stuff. And be open in who you are and not hiding aspects of yourself anymore. And balancing out that masculine and feminine energy will help you from getting triggered by people who fight all the changes that are happening right now. I said Taurus is just getting ready to go direct. So people are still fighting that change, and some old dogs just aren't going to learn new tricks, and you have to be able to keep yourself from being baited into things when it comes to this full moon, and it comes into really stepping out into who you really are and embracing your spiritual path. Now from the 10th to the 17th, it is about protecting what you have been working on and preparing for the challenges ahead, because it's time. It's time to really put in the work and water the ground that you've been standing on and putting your energy towards those things that you truly believe in, and being prepared to defend yourself in a way that's not triggering and not causing chaos, but you can still maintain your sense of self strongly. This is the 8 of Swords reversed. This is coming off the balcony and coming into the world. This is Juliet leaving her balcony and going to the party. This is, yeah, stepping out there so that your people and your tribe can find you. No one can find you if you're hiding in the shadows, and it's time to step out of this self-imprisonment of judgment, others people's judgment, and what you think their judgment will be have had you trapped, and it is time to step out of that entrapment. Going from the 18th to the 24th, I see practicing meditation, you gaining the ability to calm yourself and think clearly and not let people trigger you. This is putting down the burdens at some points. When you hit, well, how did I say this? The pebble is not heavy. What's heavy is how long you've been holding it up. So these are certain worries and certain things that you have been holding on to, and it's time to learn to when to put them down, when to quiet your monkey mind and really get into a safe space where your mind can be calmed down. It's also time to recognize when you're being too giving. When you're giving too much of your time, too much of your money, and too much of your energy to connections that are not feeding back and forth evenly. And it's time to start recognizing those chords and start giving exactly what you're receiving and balancing out that give and take that you have with people, and stop letting people take advantage of you. Now, going into the new moon on January 24th, new moon, all about release. You've come out and you have been judged, and it's time to let go of those other people and let go of those judgments that may hold you back. Let go of the past. Genuinely let go of the past. Process it. Go through it. Do the processing. Do the work, and then you can genuinely release it. Once again, this is all about the boat has been rocked and you're unstable now. There's going to be people that are going to judge you for your path, and there will be people that used to help you that are going to refuse to help you now because you are embracing a path that they don't like, and you are doing things that they don't think you should be doing. They think that you're being irresponsible, but following your path is being responsible. As long as you're managing not to drop the balance between your this dimension work and your higher realm work, you will be fine. But this is a time to find harmony with that. You can either find harmony with people or you can't. Give it your best shot. If they're still losing their minds about what you're doing, or they're still completely unsupported every time you talk to them, maybe it's time to let them go. Or you can explain that this is who I am now, and we can still be cool, but you're going to have to be cool with this is who I am now, and see if you can find that harmony there with those people. And that's going to be the new moon energy on the 24th. Now, from the 24th to the 1st is the Queen of Winter. Strong and patient, self-sufficient and funny. Alright, and this is all the letting go of the things that do not serve you. This is focusing on your money, your work, your spiritual health, and balancing that with all the things you need to get done. Have you been blowing off doctor's appointments, dental appointments, things like that, things that you should be doing in lieu of, astral traveling and doing stuff like that? This is the time to really bring balance to that, because you're going to be still carrying in a lot of meditation work, but if you spend all your time in the astral realms and you spend no time in this realm handling business, you will fail. So this is all about her and all about you really embracing that balance finally between how to keep yourself spiritually healthy, and that is all about walking your path too. When you are solid in walking your path, your spiritual health cannot be rocked as much. But as with all duality, you have letting go of the fantasy here. This is things, relationships, illusions being shattered. The knight in shining armor never showed up. You never got to rescue the damsel in the tower, or she wasn't in as much trouble as you thought she was, and she turns out to be a pain in the ass. Or your knight in shining armor, you find out the reason his armor's so shiny is because he's never actually had to battle anything before. So, this is all letting go of that fantasy and seeing people for who they really are, and either embracing it and accepting that that's who they are, or letting them go because their frequency does no longer match yours and you need to move forward. Going from the 1st to the 9th into the full moon in February, we've got the balancing of the giving and receiving. You've done the work, you've gotten through the new moon, and you've gotten through shattered illusions and judgments and everything else, and now this is a time where you are out in the open and you are seeing who is truly part of your tribe. If you're walking on eggshells around somebody, they are not part of your tribe. Your tribe will will embrace you of exactly how you are. And this is all about finding those people that you can have a balanced giving and receiving to. The connections you get as much out of as you deliver. So this is all about that, and really a lot of victory there. But there's still been that hard shift of shattered illusions. And this can be so draining if you do not actually put in the work to process these emotions. You know, everybody wants the Ten of Cup card, and nobody likes to see it in reverse. But every time it's in reversed, guess what that means? The Ace of Cups comes next. As soon as you're done processing all these emotions from where your shift is here, this big shift going into 2020, where you're embracing your path and you're walking it out in the open, and you've lost people and everything else, this is the time that you really do need to process that if you want to let it go. You have to process it and let it go in order for that Ace of Cups to come in, and then you get to start the process of gathering your cups again. A sip of my coffee there. For your oracle cards, 2 came out for us. And we have the childhood and innocence. It's time to go back to where magic and possibilities were endless. The wonder and innocence of children, of how they see magic in every little sunbeam and rainbow and leaf that sparkles in the sun, and the joy in which you can find the endless possibilities of life before everybody told you who you were. Who were you? Find that child again and embrace it, because that child came into this world knowing everything it needed to know about the spiritual realms and magic. And throughout your life, lots of jaded people and bad traumas happen to you that has made you jaded as well. And it's time to be rebirthed with that Pluto at 22, with rebirth of that innocence, that belief that you had as a child, that full cup of spiritual love that you felt from the universe whenever you were in your world of imagination. And also, of course, to balance this out because of the polarity, this is all about turning to ancient wisdom and the shaman. And it's not enough to just do the physical work. You have to do the spiritual work too, if you really want to heal and move forward into these more prosperous and healthy frequencies. And this is turning to that magic of innocence here and belief and your shamanistic instincts to heal yourself and process all these hard emotions that you may be going through. I always say that the people who struggle most with energy waves are the people who are fighting their intuition. Because your intuition's telling you stuff that you don't want to be true. And every time you fight it, these energy waves just roll you and toss you around in all this past trauma and undertow and everything else. And every time that does this, you pop back up gasping for air, and you have to start back over and paddle back out to get back up on your board. If you embrace these waves and you listen truly to your inner child and your inner intuition and your ancestors and your guides, you will not be rolled as hard by these waves. You will be strong enough to paddle on and get up on your board and stand up and ride them into shore and enjoy the ride for once. All right, guys, So that's your full moon reading from January to February 2020. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, spank that bell, and I will talk to you later.